Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Steph. I'm going to share today a recipe with you that I found a few months ago, and it's called honey oat bread, and this is a gluten-free version, and it's a quick bread, so there's no kneading, there's none of that. You'll see you're just mixing everything up, and it takes like 45 minutes to bake, and you have a delicious homemade loaf of honey oat bread. So let's get into it. All right, so we're starting off with a gluten-free multi-purpose flour. I did a cup, so the recipe uses 2 1/3 cup. I'm using 1 1/3 cup of the gluten-free multi-purpose flour and a cup of almond flour. So a lot of times I combine my flours because I don't like to use all of one because it just uses it up so quickly. So let's add this to a large bowl, okay? So right now we're adding all our, most of our dry ingredients. So it's the all-purpose flour, 2 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder, a teaspoon of salt, and I use pink Himalayan salt. So that's our dry ingredients that we're gonna start with, and I'm gonna whisk. My friends, Taja, thank you for the fresh eggs, whoops. All right, it's a 1/4 cup of coconut oil and a 1/4 cup of honey. Now my honey, let me just show you this scenario here. This was honey that my mom was not using, and you know how honey crystallizes. So this is all, like it's pretty, yeah, it's not draining out there too quickly. So I had my husband cut off because it was very tough to cut through that. And then I just scoop it out as I need it, and I just keep this food cover over it. So I melted the honey in the microwave. Sometimes I do it on the stovetop, but I did it in the microwave this time. And then I just put the honey right in there with it. I thought it would kind of soften it up some. Then we're adding our oil, and it's still not very soft there, but hopefully it's going to incorporate the yogurt. So this is Pampered Chef Measure All cup, which I love for things like this, because you don't just take 5 minutes scraping out a bowl. Okay, then we have a cup of oats. All right, and these are actually gluten-free oats. I usually do not buy gluten-free oats. I usually just buy the cheap ones at Aldi. But my sister actually gave me these. She just had some extras. So I typically use almond milk, but I'm out of it. And Aldi's out of it. I was there last night and they're out of it. It was, well, the only kind that they had was the original, which had like 12 grams of sugar per serving, and I didn't want to get that. So I'm hoping that they get it back in today or tomorrow. So this is my 3/4 cup of milk. We are now going to add the wet into the dry here. So we are just stirring this, and it says do not overmix. Well, usually you don't have to worry about overmixing with gluten-free flour, but this gets pretty thick. It's pretty thick. It says it resembles a thick and wet cake batter. So that's what you would call thick and wet. That is what that is like. So it's really, I found a clump. I found a clump of honey. I have, of course, it's Pampered Chef stone loaf pan. Let me get some of these dishes out of the way. And if you want to make sure the bread's gonna come out of, some people just, I know I've done it before. I left the loaf, like I make banana bread, and I just leave it right in there and cut a slice out. But if you want to remove the whole loaf, I cut a piece of parchment paper, and I just am cutting it to fit in like this, okay? And I kind of put a crease over to hold it in place. So there we go. that baked for, I set the timer for 40 minutes. I think I took it out a minute ahead. So it looks super yummy. I'm gonna let it cool, and then we'll just let it sit in here for a few minutes, and then, you know, I'll pull it out, put it on the cooling rack. Okay, so I thought I'd share with you my story of my range. And as you can see, it's white, and my other appliances, you know, the fridge and the dishwasher are black. And then I have the stainless steel and black microwave. Well, you know, of course, with wanting to start YouTube, I wanted all my appliances to match, you know, especially with how I like to cook, and I want everything to look cohesive. And so that was just another thing, like another obstacle to overcome, you know, just the fact that, like, it's okay if I start it without a new stove, you know, like it doesn't have to match. It's okay, Steph. So anyway, I was really like hoping and praying that I had a really good reason to get rid of it, because the oven works, the range works, and we are just not, you know, ones that like just buy new things when we feel like getting them. You know, we don't replace things every year or anything. So, or even every 10 years, more like 20 plus years. So anyway, so I contacted this lady of this local ministry where they supply, or they provide like household items for people in need. And like you can fill out like an application or have an interview or something like that. And you can like pretty much like get your whole house furnished. So as far as what I know. So I called her and she's like, yeah, we take electric ranges, you know, just drop it off these certain times. And I was like, okay. So I told my husband, and, you know, we like kind of had it planned like for, you know, beginning of April. And so I've been looking around for a sale. Of course, you know, I don't buy hardly anything without being on sale. And I had a certain amount I wanted to spend, and just all this and that. Well, last week I didn't see any sale. Like, you know, I went to Lowe's last night, and well, okay, I need to back up a little bit. Saturday, my husband got a text from this lady where I was going to donate the range, and she texted him and said, my oven broke, so can I have the one that you were going to get rid of? So I like just about jumped up in the air and clapped, you know, like I was just so like thrilled that, like, I just believe it was God's timing and just his provision. And that's just how I operate. Like I hope that I operate more often, like just with the projects I want to do around my home. I get like overboard and just thinking about all the different things I can do. And I want to approach it like, okay, Lord, like it might sound silly, but it's just how I talk to God, and, you know, I want him to direct me, and that's just what I'm praying, that he directs my steps to whatever project, you know, he wants me to do next. So you will be seeing a new range here probably. Well, I should be getting it this week, so probably in the next, you know, few videos. So yeah, I'm excited, and to have all coordinating appliances. Not that it's a total necessity, but all right. Well, I think this is going to wrap up my video, and try out that honey oat bread recipe. Oh, the one thing I forgot to do is, and it's not a big deal, but before you bake it, you can sprinkle some oats on top, and it just adds another touch, you know, looks nice and for presentation or whatever. But you know, it's okay. I forgot to do that, but it'll still taste the same. And let me know if you try it and like it, and I will hopefully see you in the next video. Have a great day. Bye.